Hello, hello, friends. It's Sunday night and it is pouring rain here right now. So it's just, what's the word? It's slowed down a little bit so I can actually hear now, but I hope you guys can hear me okay. It is super, super, super rainy here this weekend, which has been nice in some ways. You know, it's kind of been a weekend to stay in and just do at home things, but goodness me, I think we've had enough now. All right. I did ask a question a little bit earlier while I was getting set up to ask how everyone's feeling about the new products and more the retired products and the retiring colours that are going away. Those announcements are out all over the place now. So if you haven't heard, I'm going to go through a little bit of it tonight. Can everyone hear me okay? Hello, hello. I'm seeing some friendly faces. Lots of friendly faces. Lovely to have you here with me. Hey, Subu, we haven't seen you for a while. It's cold in the UK, is it? Hey, Marilyn, I got your email. I haven't had a chance to get back to you yet. I'm so sorry about that. But maybe I can answer some of those questions tonight. You were asking, while I remember, you were asking about ink pads. If I remember rightly, I'll double check, but I think they're going up 50 cents in the new catalogue, which you can decide if you have several you need to get. It might be worth it for you to get them before then. But I believe, and that's probably a bit of an elephant in the room to discuss straight up. Yes, some prices are going up in the new catalogue. Quite a lot of items are going up in price, some more substantially and some smaller ones. Ink pads went up in a previous catalogue, so it makes sense that they haven't gone up as much this time. So I hope that answers your question. We have, hey Deb, how are we? I am just looking at everybody's comments and thinking I'm never going to catch up because you guys talk faster than I can. Goodness me. Or than I can create for certain. Cherie, you're saying you have mixed emotions about the colours that are going and the bits and pieces? Yeah. Yes, and that is a really important point. It's not just if a particular colour is going, then everything in that colour is going. So cardstock is going in that colour. Let's do that first. Let me switch over to my desk, and I've got all my retiring colours here in a little bin. I pulled them all out so we can see them, because sometimes I think it, rather than me just telling you, it's a lot better if you can actually see them, okay? Because then it's more likely to stick with you, and it makes it more easy for me to remember as well. Have I missed any questions at the moment? I don't think so. If I have, you're sad about the products more than the colours, Ellen? Yeah, there's a lot. I'll show you my very depleted. I pulled out my dies this afternoon, all my retiring stuff, and I have way more retiring and going away than I am actually keeping. So that's a bit of a whoops. But you know what? I'm one of the weird people who actually really likes it when we have a retiring sale or retiring products, because not only is it great that people are, there's usually a bit of a frenzy, which is great for the pocket, obviously, but because there's so many discounted products, but it also means that I can clear out my shelves and make room for new things. And I actually really like that, because I get to a stage where I think, I really have enough. I really don't need any more from these current catalogues. And then when there's a retirement thing, I think, yay, I can get rid of stuff, and that leaves me a lot more space in my cupboard, a lot more space on the shelves. So more going than staying, I know. Well, I haven't done the stamps yet. That's going to be scary. But I've done the dies. Paul and I went through the annual catalogue. Let me switch over to the desk so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. And am I straight or am I not straight? Oh, it's not too bad. All right, so this afternoon, Paul's my husband. Oh, you asked a question, Cherie, I see. Put out a pack of new colour markers, do you think? Yes, I do think they will. I do, but yes, we have seen the new catalogue, but I haven't had a chance to go through the whole thing yet, so I can't answer that question with absolute certainty, but I do think that they will. I know that I've had a look, and they have a new core colour pack, which means they are selling as a bundle all the colours that are new or returning. So there's, I think, 11 colours that are coming back into the main collection, not counting the in colours. We're just talking about the main collections. And there is a core colour pack of those 11. So you can get those in the markers, you can get those in the stamp pads and so forth. So you can actually buy those as a bundle, which is great. So it's much easier than, unless of course you just want to buy them a couple at a time, which is fine as well. So whatever really works for you. All right. So what Paul and I did this afternoon, you can see, for example, here in the embellishments, everything I've got highlighted is going, and we've also written in all the discounted prices. So it took a while because there's so much on the list this year. It's a big retiring list. And I have to tell you, like, this is just the January to April mini catalog. So this purple catalog, this is this one. All right. And I've just gone through and highlighted all the things that I have personally. So actually it's not too bad. I don't have all that many things on the list. I was very frugal with this particular catalog, but the big one, yeah, I have quite a lot. Just having a look. But yeah, I've gone through with Paul and we've marked everything that has markers is actually going away. All right. So if you have a question about something tonight, if a particular thing is going away, you can ask me and I can actually access that really easily now I have this. So I'm just looking. Yep. Yes. So yeah, they'll have 4 color. They're not going to have. So in answer to Cherie's question, you were asking about the markers. I don't think they're going to have a big pack of the markers, and I think that's what Ellen's saying as well. So yeah, Ellen was saying the main difference is the big box is gone. That was what I was saying as well. And you can buy the bundle of 4 color marker families. Okay, so the new families with the new colors in them will be available. So yeah, so there we go. Yeah, it is a lot of work, I know, but it's something that really helps me, because on Friday night when I was talking to you about what was going, we hadn't done that yet, and now I have a much better idea in my head. You know, go through and physically mark it off in the catalog, and it really makes you think, okay, now I've got that. I understand what's going, and I have a better feel for it. There is a few tricky things in this list. There's a couple of errors, but to be honest, the errors are few. But there are a few misunderstandings. So, for example, there are some items in this catalogue, okay, we had some things that were photopolymer and cling, okay, and in some cases the cling is going, but the photopolymer is staying. So it looks like the item is on the list and you think, oh, it's retiring, but actually it's only the photopolymer that's staying and the cling that's going. So that's caused a few problems. And then there's a couple of other things that they've taken out of the catalogue. So technically they're retiring out of the catalogue, but they're not really retiring because they're going to put them online in the online exclusive section. So there's a few confusing things this time. A couple of examples of those. The organdy glittered ribbon, you know, the white sparkly ribbon that I really love. That's not on the retiring list, but I also noticed it's not in the new catalogue. That's this one. Okay. Whoops. Where is it? There it is. And that's because they're going to put that online as one of the online exclusive items. So it'll just be basically available until it's sold out. So that's how that's going to work. Just having a little look here. Yeah, stock taking is time consuming. Absolutely. So like I said, I haven't done the stamps, but I have done the ink pads. So let's have a look. These are the colors that are going in case you missed it. Bermuda Bay is going. I'm very sad because that's one of my 2 favorite colors. Blushing Bride is going. I don't think that's a big surprise to most people. Mango Melody is going. Merry Merlot is going away. Mint Macaron is going. Pear Pizzazz. Let me put these back in so that I can grab the next lot. Pacific Point is going. This color mystifies me because I love this color. I love the blue, and yet I hardly ever use it. I don't know why. I don't know why I haven't used it, but I just haven't. Not very much. Rich Razzleberry is going. I expected either Rich Razzleberry or Blackberry Bliss to go, and it's Rich Razzleberry that's going, and I'm happy because Blackberry Bliss is my favourite of those two, so that's good. This one makes me sad. Sahara Sand is going, guys. Isn't that sad? That was, like, to me, the neutral that had the greenest base, and so I'm a bit sad about that one. So Saffron is going. Once upon a time, this was my least liked colour, and it has become a much, much more loved colour by me. I don't know why, but gradually it grew on me, but it's saying goodbye, so I'll get over it. Soft Suede is going, and I've had a few people in my team go, oh, Soft Suede, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? There's a new colour coming, all right? There's a new colour in our new catalogue that is not far off this one, okay? So a little softer than Soft Suede, I would say, but there we go. So those are the retiring colours. Does anyone have any questions about any of those at this point? I prefer cling to photopolymer too most of the time, although there have been a couple of sets that I actually chose to buy the photopolymer, and now that they've retired the cling, I'm really happy about that because it means I've got those ones. So that's interesting. Lighting the Way was one of them. It came in cling and photopolymer. I'll show it to you. Give me a second. This one with all the fireflies. This one has came in both photopolymer and cling. They're both still available at the moment, but in the new catalogue, it's only going to be available in the photopolymer, which just happens to be the one that I have. So, so there you go. That's kind of interesting. And there's a few others. Around the Bend is another one. Around the Bend is this one, which I only just got, actually. I took a bit of a risk and thought, I think it's, I'm going to guess this might be in the new catalogue. I don't know why I took that guess, because I'm notoriously bad at knowing what's going to stay and what's going to go. But I not only chose this one, but I chose the photopolymer one. There it is. And I'm not even sure why, because I normally prefer cling. And this one, the photopolymer, is staying, but the cling version is going. So I actually chose right. And I don't even know why. Of course they don't. No, they don't, Vicky. They don't stain like the photopolymer. It's much easier to clean the rubber stamps. And there's a level of detail that you can get with the rubber stamps. But, of course, the big advantage that the photopolymer have is the fact that you can see where you're going. So it does make it easier to stamp, especially if you're wanting to line things up really well. So I hope that makes sense. Now, the other thing I did have time to go through is my retiring, and this is a really heavy box, goodness me, my retiring punches. All right, so let me go through and I will show you. I'll show you what my catalogue looks like after I went through and did this. First of all, the page with all the colours on it, that was the trickiest, because I've written down some of them are discounted, some of them are not. So I just put a highlighter in the columns of the colours that I just read to you a moment ago that are retiring. Of course, the other thing that's retiring, the 21 to 23 in colours, those are all going, except Fresh Freesia is making a comeback. So these four, Polished Pink, Pale Papaya, Evening Evergreen, and Soft Succulent, those ones are all going as well. So I didn't pull those out, but at some point I will. All right, so the other thing that I've got way up the back here is my punches, and it's on page 150 of the annual catalogue. So this is just annual catalogue at the moment. I'm not doing the other. So I went through and highlighted the ones that are actually going. And I have some of them, don't have all of them. I have the Lovely Labels Pick a Punch, but I don't use this one very much. I normally use the Banners Pick a Punch. I use that one all the time. So I'm actually okay for this one to go. And you can see I've written down next to them, this one's 10% off. The Medium Daisy is 30% off. The Rectangular Postage Stamp, now I will miss this one. I use this one quite a bit. That's 10% off. Label Me Fancy, 10%. Label Me Lovely, 10%. The Starlit Punch, which I don't have, and the Flowers and Leaves, those are 50% off each. And the Heart Punch Pack, which was a double, so that's these two. These two. Okay, this one fits inside this one. Well, you can't see them very well there. Can you see that? Mine, they need a bit of a polish up. But, yeah, these two are sold as a bundle for $68, and they're going to be 50% off. So instead of $68, they're going to be, what's that, $34. That's a good deal. So if you're thinking to yourself, oh my goodness, those are great discounts. The discounts start on the 4th, okay, which is Tuesday. Today is Sunday. Now, if there's something that, let me just double check. I checked earlier today, and the only thing that was out was Rich Razzleberry refills, and because Rich Razzleberry is retiring, and Fresh Freesia refills, because everyone thought that Fresh Freesia was going to retire, and then of course it didn't. So, but in the meantime, it has sold out twice in March. So that's just how it works. I'm just going to have a quick look in case there's been any changes to the stock list since this morning. Yes, Ellen, I said stock list. Okay, there's a whole bunch of things that have gone up there since this morning. So let me read them to you. The Rich Razzleberry ink refills are not available. It says due in week to be determined. So I don't actually know what's going to happen with those. But also on the list is Pear Pizzazz ink refills and Mint Macaron refills. So these are all retiring colours. Okay, those 3 colours. Please just bear in mind you may not be able to get the refills that you want if you don't order them soon. And some of them are not discounted at all. Some of them are. Let me have a quick look back at that list. Here we go. So, for example, the Pear Pizzazz, which is down here, that refill is not discounted. Okay, and the Mint Macaron, that one's not discounted either. Okay. So I would be saying to myself, is it worth? Because the refills, none of these ones are discounted. The Merry Merlot refill is discounted only at 10%. But interestingly, they must have a lot more stock of these. Mango Melody and Bermuda Bay refills are both discounted. The Bermuda Bay is at 20% and the Mango Melody is at 30%. Now, we're talking about a $7 item. So it's up to you to decide whether you want to wait for Tuesday to get those refills. I've been talking about, I've been banging on about refills for about 2 months now, because those are the things that go first. And already we've got some on the not orderable list, and the retired list officially hasn't even started. So does that make sense what I'm saying to you? If you really want a color and you do not want to miss out, then get it as quickly as you can. If you do want to wait till Tuesday to get any discount, then I would be going as early on Tuesday as you possibly can. Anyway, what time is it? Does anyone know? Is it 3 a.m. that the retired list goes live? I'm not exactly sure what time. Or Ellen, do you know? Is it midnight or is it 3 a.m? Hi there, Joan. You're never too late, honey. Don't ever worry about that. Never, ever worry. Are the blends discounted also? No, I cannot see any. Oh, hang on. Oh, I lie. So saffron blends are going to be 10% off. Mint macaron blends are going to be 20% off. Now, also, the list I was working with was the original list, and I've noticed that they have updated the list since then. So there might be a couple of, I need to go through again and see if there's any discounts. I do on some of these things that wasn't on the original list. Stampin' Blends for the retiring in colors, those ones are marked down. So 10% off Polish Pink. This is the blends. 20% off Pale Papaya, 30% off Evening Evergreen, and 20% off Soft Succulent. So that's interesting. Those ones are discounted. So is that question? Yeah, I am not sure. 3 a.m. says Vicky, and Ellen was checking. So yeah, that's an interesting thing, because I know some people sit up sometimes when we have a new promotion or something like this happening. They'll sit up after midnight to put their order in. But if it's 3 a.m., you don't want to be waiting till 3 a.m. You'd be better off getting up early and doing it the next morning. I'm not waiting up till 3 a.m. Anybody else? Such serious business tonight. I know. I'm so sorry. Is this boring? Am I boring everyone? So I have gone through the couple of things, but I do have one more thing to show you before I get my craft on, and that is this. This is my box. I haven't gone through my big dies yet, but this is my box. I hope you can see it. How many items are in here? Look. This is my box of dies. Okay, this is what's staying. You see that? it's a nice pile of things, and I've got plenty there to work with. But this is not even counting my big dies. Haven't been through those yet. This is all the normals. This is what's going. This is my dies that are going. That's a lot of dies, guys. Oh my goodness. So, and nearly all of them are discounted, okay, on that new list. So if you are waiting for the discounts to start on Tuesday, get in early and get what you want, because I cannot guarantee that anything is going to be there if you wait too long. All right. So that is my honest to goodness plea to you. Do not leave it too late, because every single year I have somebody, oh, Ellen says it starts at midnight. Ah, if it starts at midnight, that changes everything, right? You checked yours, Kelly. That's good. Oh, good. I hope it's helpful, because I just know you want someone to tell you, okay, what is going on? Oh, well, then if you're up taking puppies to the toilet at 3 a.m., that's different, Jenny. You might as well be putting an order in. I wouldn't be up at 3 a.m. either. All right. People set an alarm? Wow, I've never been that dedicated, actually. Is that terrible? Yes, correct. Apple Blossom dies are in the clearance rack, Cherie, and I believe, if I remember rightly, they're $24.60 or $26.40, one or the other. They're right around the middle of the, like around the $25 mark. But that's a really good deal. And they, the Apple Blossom, the Apple, is it Apple Harvest? I'm trying to remember what it's called. But that stamp set is going to be in the new catalogue. I love that set. It's a fantastic set. Let's play with something, shall we? All right, I'm going to play with a retiring set. This is a retiring set that I've had for a while, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but I am maybe going to combine it with a couple of other things. I was thinking earlier, maybe I should combine it with Paradise Palms. Oh, look, there's another. This is also the Lighthouse. This isn't even in. This is also retiring, this one as well, and that's not even in my pile. So I had it to do something tonight. So I'm deciding what I'm going to do with this, and I'm just going to have a little bit of a play, I think, because I have a couple of things that I love to do, and yet we haven't done it for a while. I'm going to use some watercolor paper here, and let me grab out a piece. All right, so the watercolor paper we have, this is not retiring, okay? The Fluid 100 watercolor paper is in the new catalogue, thank goodness, because I love it. Really, really good quality watercolor paper. I'm going to cut it in half. So this is actually measured in inches. It's 5 by 7. I think that's what it says. It probably has, yeah, 5 by 7 inches or 12.7 by 17.8 centimeters. But in this case, the 5.7 is actually the easier measurement to work with. So if I measure, this is the 7-inch side. So if I go at 3.5, that's exactly halfway. And let's see how that goes. All right, so I'm using half a piece. And I'm deciding will I go, I think I'll go portrait. All right, so this is a really, really nice set, and I regret, well, I have to say I regret not using it more because it's so fun to use. I really, really like it, but it just hasn't seen enough use from me. So this is a bit of water. I don't know if you can see, this is this bit here, and I'm going to be using that. Then we've got some rocks. We've got a lighthouse, and all of these are fun things to work with. So I'm going to put the rocks on a block. We'll use those. And what else will we do? We probably will end up using the light, but I'm going to actually use the lighthouse here. I may cut it out because, of course, I have the dies, so we'll see. But let's pop it on block H. Block H? Yeah, block H, which is the long, thin die. That's the perfect size. Sorry, block, not die. All right, so I'm going to start, and I'm thinking, what color will I go with? What color? Shall we go with, I'm going to go Night of Navy. And this is such a nice, hang on, how long is this? How high do I want that? All right, so about here, just so it goes off the edge. I'm actually going to line this up on my grid paper because I want my stamp to be as straight as possible. Isn't this a nice stamp? I love this stamp. So, so nice. And we're gonna zhazh it up a little bit. I don't know if that's even a word. I'm going to grab, I need to find one that's got water in it. There we go. This one does, I think. That one wants to run away. Of course, I'm going to have to reach over. I have enough water pens to last a lifetime, and I'm deciding whether I want a medium one or whether I want a fine point. This one I think is going to be good. This is the fine point. So all I'm going to do with this is I'm going to come over with my water pen, and I'm actually going to add a bit of water to this so it goes a little further across, and we're just going to move it around a little bit because I like it to be really dark. Okay, so that's going to work pretty well. And then I'm going to have, I may end up, I'm deciding, I'm going to go, because it's retiring, let's use our Sahara sand because it's such a nice color. Where is it? Yep. I pulled out every single color except Sahara sand, and I just had it a moment ago. So give me a second and I'll re-find it. Here it is. There we go. So as always, I'm making it up as I go along. I'm just going to ink up my Sahara sand here. All right, I have got another retiring color. We've got some soft suede, so let's do our rocks in soft suede. By the way, United Navy's not retiring. I just like it, so that's why I used it. All right, so I'm going to grab that again, just run the water so that it gets clear, and I'm going to add some color to my soft suede rocks. And just sort of bring a little bit less color down as we go, so it looks like it's kind of, I don't even know what the right word is for that, but anyway, I want it to sort of fade out and get lighter as it moves down. So can you see that the water is doing that, which looks nice. All right, I'm just looking here. Now I'm deciding what color we should do the stripes. We could do them in red. Hey, what about if we tried Mary Merlot, seeing as that is a color that's retiring? Would that be a good idea? Would that work? Do you think that's going to be the right color, or should I go with the bright red? What do we think? I could go with real red, or I could go with Mary Merlot. Has anyone got any thoughts on that? Everyone's too busy chatting to answer me tonight, I think. Mary Merlot, says Monique. Okay. It's reddish, but not. Now, the easy way to line this stamp up, let me show you, is see how there's like the line just below the, I'll hold it up, the line just below the top, below the windows there. You've got a line at the top of this one, and you line those two up. I just need to stand up to do it, so give me a second. That's where photopolymer is awesome. Okay, does look good. The color is great actually, but it's retiring. but it goes well with this colouring. Now I think we need to add some blended sky. I think that would be really nice. And I'm actually thinking I'm going to deciding whether I want to add just like a little bit more. Once sort of kind of like what we did here with the blue. So I want to bring it down a little lower, but I want the color to fade out. So I'm pushing a lot more water through to make it kind of fade out. There we go. That's nice. All right, so let's grab our blending brushes, and I'm going to do this in Balmy Blue to start with. So I'm just going to find the right one. Now, if I had the blending brush storage, this would be a much easier task. All right, Balmy Blue, and we've already got the navy out. All right, so now that I've got this here, that water's sort of just sitting there on top. So I'm actually going, where is the pen that I just literally had in my hand? Is it this one? Yeah, it is. So I want to kind of move that back up now into the other color. Okay, it's looking good. All right, so I'm going to start with the lighter color with the Balmy Blue. Not retiring. This color is not retiring. So the blues on this card are not retiring. Oh, YouTube's taking a long time, is it, Cherie? Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes it does that. I don't know why. So I'm actually going to add, this is a lighter blue. I'm just going to add it to the sky and kind of go almost all the way down to the line, but not quite. I've got a little bit of color in the way there, but that's okay. We'll work that out. And then this side, I can hear a cat at the door. He's banging on the door because he's thinking, okay, it's time for you to feed me. Why is there no action? All right. Okay, I'm okay with that. Now I'm going to use my darker color. I'm just going to do the very top part of the sky so that it gets some color, but not nearly as much. All right, so you can see there's quite a lot of ink on there, so I want to get some of that off a little bit because I don't want it to be too dark. I'm going to hold this. We're just blending it all together. These blending brushes, if you don't have them, all of you girls who have blending brushes, tell everyone who doesn't how amazing they are, because they are fantastic, and it's just so easy to get a great blended look with these. They just do such a great job. I love them. And there's little ones now. Did everyone know there's little ones? Little ones are fun. All right, I'm liking how this is looking. This is still really wet, so I'm actually going to grab my heat tool and dry it. Give me a second. Just have to grab my heat tool wherever that has gone. You know where it's gone? My daughter's borrowed it. It's not here. Right. She's taken up jewelry making, and she was using the heat tool the other day for something, and I guess it didn't come back. All right, now we get to make a decision, guys. We get to decide whether we want to have, this is a light that I can do in like yellow, and it would come out and go this way. Or if you prefer, I can just make a glow come from behind the top of the lighthouse. So just like with a bit of, so if I was to use a small blending brush, for example, let me find one. I actually have one here on the desk. all of a sudden she's got this new hobby and I keep losing things. Before I started tonight, I had to go and retrieve like a whole bunch of ink pads and some punches and goodness knows. It's all for the new jewelry hobby. Oh, well, I am going to open a new pack. Lot the navy, yeah, I could. I've got some paper towel here. I could do that. There you go. Everyone's telling everybody else how good the blending brushes are. Thanks, girls. They really are fantastic. What did you say that you shouldn't have said? Oh, okay. Got it. Glow, says Leslie. Glow, says Rose. Okay. All right, then glow it is. All right, so I'm going to... All right. There you go. That's taken enough of the water out that I'm not worried about that anymore. All right, let me just grab. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use one of my little, you could use a sponge dauber as well, but I'm going to use So Saffron because that's a retiring color, remember? And I'm just going to pick up a little bit. And I'm going to just do a little circle and work my way out. Now hopefully you can see this. It looks really, really nice. It's very soft. So that's the glow rather than, what do we think? Do we like that? Should it be larger? Does anyone think that should be larger? I'm going to make it a bit darker in the middle. There we go. It does a bit, doesn't it? The smudges on the horizon. Yeah, it does. You like it? Nope, it will go green, says Cherie. All right. Okay. I'm happy with how this is looking. It's kind of really pretty actually. But what I want to do is add it to a card. And let's see. I'm going to move a couple of things out of the way. Now I have got this beautiful By the Bay paper is another retiring item. Let's just move this to one side for a second. Actually, before I do, I'm going to pop this back in to the set so it doesn't get lost. Okay, this By the Bay paper is fantastic, and I was thinking this with the ocean would be a nice backing for this. What do you think? I think that would look good. This one would look good too. I mean, this is a really nice, this is a gorgeous set. Goodness me, I love, this is probably my favorite, the one I've used the most, but I love them all. I mean, they're just beautiful. They've got lovely foil or embossed images on some of the sheet, on one side. I mean, how nice are they? This is just the most beautiful paper, and I've used it quite a lot. I've got a couple of favorites. I love this, the iridescent stripes, but the By the Bay 6x6 paper is leaving us. Okay, so it is. Of course, it could be masculine, and I think, you know, sometimes we need some ideas for those. It would be a good retirement card, Donna. That's a really great idea. So I'm thinking for this one, I'm going to go on a piece of Night of Navy backing. So I'm going to grab myself a piece of that. One of my favorite colors, Night of Navy. It's such a all-rounder, such a useful color. Right, so this is going to go, and I'm going to measure this to be, this is card front size, so 14.3 centimeters by 10 is our card front size. And then if I'm going to use this, and I think I am, I'm going to make this 0.5 centimeter smaller, so it's going to be 9.5 by 13.8. All right, so this one is going to fit perfectly inside this one. And then this one is, you're just going to see a little bit of it all the way around the edges. Actually, I'm wondering if I should cut it down slightly so we see a bit more. But I don't want to cut down too much because it's too nice and I don't want to lose tons of it, but I'm going to cut it down slightly. So let's take a little off this side where the bits are. And how big is it? I'm going to take a little bit off this side. And I'm going to take the tinsiest bit off the top because that would be sad to take too much off the top where our light is. But I don't want to take off much off the bottom because I was thinking this might be a good place for a greeting. So let's just take a tinsy bit off. And let's see how this looks. Right now, I noticed with the, I need new blades in my trimmer because I'm getting a little bit of fuzziness. Now, if that happens, you can just run your fingernail along the edges and it will get rid of the fuzziness. Or if you have either a sanding block, which I always keep a sanding block in my crafty bag, or even some fine sandpaper will also, see, this is better now. It's getting, you don't see a lot of the paper, but it does look good. All right, let me pop this down. Have I missed some comments? I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. I like the maritime themes as well, Nicole. I just do. I don't know why. Anything to do with the ocean, I always like. I like all the ones that've got like, we are losing the Frenza like seashells stuff. And I'm a bit sad about that because I loved all those shells, but they've been around for a couple of years now. So, all right, so you get a little bit of the edges. Okay, how do we feel about that? Do we like that, or do you think it needs to be smaller? Just looking to see if I've missed any comments. Oh, thanks, Denise. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like the Lighthouse. 4 days traveling, that's a long time. I'm sorry, I know Nicole was saying she hoped to have a good trip, Marie, but actually Marie goes by Denise. I know that's confusing, but she does. You use a nail buffer. That's a great idea. Yep, absolutely. Offset the stamped piece to the bottom left. You mean, sorry, where do you mean, Ellen? I'm trying to think. Set the stamped piece to the bottom left. I mean, I could put something across the side here, but I was thinking about originally putting a greeting because there's actually a couple of nice small greetings like this always here for you would fit in here quite nicely. What do you think, guys? And I'm actually going to put this up on dimensionals. So let's whack some of those behind. You've got the On the Horizon DSP. Wasn't that the most beautiful DSP? That was gorgeous. And this is the thing. My suggestion is if there is something like DSP or even a stamp set or anything at all that you really, really love and you know it's retiring, grab it before it's gone, please. Every single year I have someone who contacts me the day after the catalogue is finished to say, can I still get XYZ? And I have to say no, and I don't want you to be that person. Okay, you don't want to be that person because it's very sad when it happens. All right, so we're getting a little bit of movement behind there. You can't see the waves very well, but you do, it kind of, the colors do work really well together. And now I've put this here, of course, now it's going to be difficult for me to stamp on it. That was silly, but anyway, I'm thinking maybe I put something over. Bottom left of DSC to see more pattern. I could. I'm still, move your card to bottom left, card front. Well, I stuck it on now. Sorry. I could move it. So you thinking if I was to go, hang on, it's going to come off because I haven't pushed it down too hard. Let's just take that off. Did I make you go, ugh? All right, let's pull those off. So I could go to one side to see more of the pattern down here. I mean, that's a possibility. or I don't know. I've got a thing about things not being centered. It's just me. What do we think? Is that what you're thinking, Ellen? I don't know. I still like it in the middle. I'm sorry. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. There's a song about that. Who knows it? Taylor Swift. All right. I'm going with that. All right. I've made a decision. And I'm thinking I will grab myself a bit of white. I have got some spare white sitting here by my desk somewhere. And I'm thinking we're going to pull in something here from the left. All right, so we've got lots of options, but I do really like the always here for you. I think that's a really nice, sentiment. We've all got different opinions how we like things to be done, haven't we? All right, I'm going to go with Night of Navy. So I was originally thinking of stamping this down here, but now I'm thinking maybe it would be better up here and maybe on something. So let's stamp it. It's a really nice stamp. See how nice that is? Or Without You I Would Be Lost is also a really nice stamp. But there's something, I guess, really dependable about a lighthouse. My husband grew up on Lake Michigan, and so he has a very strong connection to lighthouses because their town has a lighthouse. I'm deciding this is 3/4 of an inch. Let me see if that's no, it needs to be an inch. I think. I'm going to grab my pick a punch. This one is not retiring, okay? And let's see if I can. This does a banner. Let's move that right into the end, as far as it will go. And then you want to check it on the back that it is in all the way, and I can see it is. And then that does a nice banner for us. Okay, it's really nice because if you haven't seen this one, it does a 1/2 inch, a 3/4 of an inch, or a 1 inch strip. So you can actually decide whether you want it to be concave or convex, and then which width of strip you have. So 1/2, 3/4, or 1 inch strips will always fit in and work really, really well. All right, so I'm thinking about putting this right about here. If we want to, we could make that a little shorter, and I'm going to do it one more time. I'm just going closer. See, it takes off. Can you see how much it's going to take off? There you go. That's how much we got, how much we lost. So that's fine. And then I'm going to cut the other end. And I can always cut it shorter. It's like a haircut. You can always cut it shorter, but you can't add the hair back on. So, all right, so I'm actually going to have it so it goes a little bit over the edge, like this, so it sticks out. And I am going to grab a sponge dauber, and I'm going to sponge around the edge. I've got a blue one here, this one. And I'm going to use my Balmy Blue. I didn't notice whether this By the Bay paper is going to be discounted. I think nearly all the DSPs are discounted, but I'm not sure about that one. I need to check. But it is going. All right. You can feel bling time coming on. I also can feel that. I agree. All right, so it's going to go off to the side here because I think that is going to make the card a little bit more balanced. And I think we should add dimensionals again. Why not? 1 and 2. Let's add them behind here. Right about right about there. Now it's also going to need, because we said it could be a masculine card, so I'm going to use some linen thread. Linen thread is awesome. I love linen thread. If I can find the end of it, that'd be nice. Oh, there it is. Look, I'm making a mess of my roll, but that's okay. So let me just tie that. Do I want a bow, or do I just want, maybe I don't want a bow. Maybe because a bow makes it less masculine. So I could use a bow, or I could just have a bit tied around. You know what? Let's do the tie around thing. Because I've already put it on, I've made life really difficult for myself. Let me see if I can take it off. I can. Right. So I'm going to whip this around a couple of times. Oh, really? My roll is in a mess, so I'm going to have to redo something with that. Just all look away for a second while I get myself sorted here. Sorry. Right, so I want to put it around a couple of times, then I'm going to tie it over on this side 2 times or 3 times. Well, I think 2 might be enough. And we'll have our knot down here. Got enough left to tie a bow for something else probably, because I used up too much, but that's okay. How was your weekend away, Ellen? Did you have a nice weekend? Saw you and hubby off having a good time. Oh. And I'm going to fix this up because I'm not happy with the way I've tied this, but anyway. I pulled too tight and messed up my paper because the paper's soft here from where I coloured it with the water. That's okay. Maybe I can make a feature out of that. Now we do we need bling? Given that this is possibly a masculine card, I'm also going to pop it on a white card base. So let me grab that. What sort of bling? Should we do like, I mean, matte dots I think aren't going to be right being black. I don't want, I do have, if I wanted to go with bling, I have these guys. I have these starry, I think are they Starry Sky, but they'd be okay. And I also have some balmy blue ones, but they're very blingy, very shiny. Maybe I'd be better off using like rustic dots. Rustic dots might be good. Does anyone have any thoughts on this? Navy dots. Oh, birds. Oh my goodness. Ha 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 ha. Thank you. Birds. We need birds. On the ocean set has some really nice birds. Let's do those. This stamp went missing for about 6 weeks. Had a little holiday down the cavity behind my desk. All right, let's we're right on the side or closer to the lighthouse. Deciding where I want them to go. I could crochet a few chains and make a rope. That's a great idea. Why did I never ever think of that? I'm deciding where my birdies will go. Thanks for the birds idea. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Very clever. Was that Solvega that said that? It was. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to go kind of here. There we go. I think the birds are good. What do you think, guys? Do we like that? And then I think I do like the idea of either either some blue blingy dots, but if I don't want to go blingy, I like the idea of, we also have, oh, here's another idea. What about brush metallic dots? Because I think those are saying goodbye. I think they're leaving. That's these ones. Okay, so we've got the brush metallic in gold, copper, and brass. We could use one of those. They would look masculine-ish. And I saw, Ellen, I thought of you, the champagne rhinestones are going. We love those. Don't we? So just if anyone's wondering where I found the birds are in the On the Ocean set, this one. Okay, this is not retiring, but it is in the mini catalogue and it's going to be going into the new annual catalogue. Brush metallic, says Katrina. Okay, I think that's what we'll do. Oh, pebbles. I don't think I have any of those at the moment. Now I've got to decide whether I do brass or gold. I think brass. I think maybe brass. And I'm going to pop one right here. You know, even the one looks good. But I'm going to add one down the bottom here. And a smaller one. Smaller one up here. All right. And then, of course, we need to pop this whole thing on a white thick base. So I'm going to just grab some white thick card base and chop it in half to make our card. I got some out earlier and I have no idea where I put it now. So, hey, take a drink, everyone. That's what they say, right? You take a drink because you can't find something, or when you're meant to take a drink when you find it. But, yeah. Anyway, this is just every time I've made a card with this Lighthouse set, I have been super happy with how it turned out. Even if I did mess up the twine, which I think I will redo, but even so. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that. Even so, I think it works. So let's use my bone folder to fold my card flat. And we'll pop that whole thing on to the card base. There we go. I think the brass goes the best because it matches in with these neutral colours. And there we go. Finished card. What do we think? Do we like it? You like it, Leslie? Thank you. Oh, you could do that with a couple of pebbles. That would look nice, Chris. But I'm happy with it, I have to say. It turned out really nice. All right, let me put a couple of these things away because I've made this giant mess, which, you know, is not unusual, but I think somehow it's even bigger than usual. And look, how nice do the blending brushes look? Oh, those three colors are really nice together. The So Saffron, the Balmy Blue, and the Night of Navy. That's a really good combo. Goodness me, I've got my jacket on tonight. It's gone cold. Like it's turned literally, it's gone from heat wave last week to feels like winter almost here this week. And like I said, I've got a jacket on and trying to stay warm. Anybody else? Or is it just me? Let's get rid of a couple of these things. All right, I'm really happy with how that turned out. I did bring this one out because I was thinking maybe I'll put a palm tree in there somewhere, but in the end, I didn't feel like it needed it. But you could do that. Maybe another time. All right. Does anybody, while I'm putting my bits and pieces together. Does anyone have a request that you would like to see me use something, or do you have any questions about something that is retiring or whether something's retiring? Does anyone have any thoughts? It is definitely a lot cooler. I'm glad it's not just me, because I thought, gosh, you know, what's wrong with me? You love it. Brendan, is that the card we're talking about or the weather? Or both? All right, so I've got my On the Ocean birds going back. I don't want to lose them again. This is a really nice set. I love these waves, and the dies that match have these beautiful water wave dies. They're absolutely gorgeous. Really, really nice. Right, let's just pop these back in. Oop, clean that one off. Some rocks. A very nice sentiment. And oh, some water here. Oh, I've also got the stripes. I'll clean those. So this set is saying goodbye, and we'll be a little bit sad because it's a really nice set. But hey, that's life, right? All good things must come to an end. Okay. Yes, it is called Lighthouse Point. It's really, really nice. If you go to Pinterest and look up Lighthouse Point Stampin' Up cards on Pinterest, you'll have literally hundreds of ideas that come up. Some people have just done the most beautiful things with it. I was really excited to see a couple of my cards even came up in that search. So yeah, it's just been a really nice set to use. 6 degrees, that's cold. And you're talking 6 degrees Celsius, correct? I think that's correct. Yes, Love Cats is going. Very sad. Speaking of Love Cats, thank you for mentioning that. Some of you would know, and I am going to mention it really quickly again. I did my craft along last week. Now, craft along, I do this once a month, and we pick a theme and go with that theme. And everybody who ordered with me the month before gets a supply pack to make the card with me. But if you aren't in Australia, so you didn't place an order, or if you, you're a demonstrator, or you have your own demonstrator, you won't be ordering with me, but you can still purchase all the tutorials that's in the series. So this card is the one we made live. Okay, so it's a trifold vellum window card. Okay, that's the card we made live in the video. You can go and watch the replay anytime. It's available to everyone. And then these are the other cards in the set. So this is one. So there's a whole series of videos with measurements, step-by-step instructions, everything that is in the set. Okay, so there's the original card. There's 5 cards in the series altogether. The original card is the one we made live, this one. And then these ones are only available to purchase or for people who placed an order with me the month before. So if you didn't place an order in February, that's okay. You can still purchase them. So this is the first one. This is what reminded me to tell you this. This is the Love Cats one. The funny thing about this card is after I made the card, the following, like the day that I had done all the videos the day before, and the following day was when they announced everything that was retiring, and absolutely everything on this card is retiring. Absolutely everything. So these are the picture this dies. Well, not the base cardstock. The white cardstock is staying, and the window sheets, the acetate is staying, but the Love Cat stamp set is going. The beautiful Like an Animal designer series paper is going. And I used the Stamparatus to position the pussycat here into the windows. So the Stamparatus is going. I think most people are aware of that now because I've heard lots of people talking about it online. But in case you did not know, the Stamparatus is leaving us. So if you were thinking to yourself, I must get one of those Stamparatus things one day, you'll need to get it really, really soon, because it's not discounted, but it is on the retiring list. Okay, so you'll want to grab that before it goes. Then this one is the pop-out one that I just showed you a moment ago. Then this one is a split acetate window, split window card. So you've got your acetate piece that actually forms the solid front of this card. But you can, you know, it's obviously it's a window. And then the last window card is the one I made with the Grove dies, which I think turned out really, really nice. And when you open it, it's actually a trifold card so that you have somewhere on the inside there to write. Okay, so you got your writing space there, but I did a couple of different versions of this one. I did different versions of all of them. Let me just see. This is the one I mean. So this one I used, both of them use the Enjoy the Journey DSP, which is retiring. This one uses a different piece of the same paper, which looks really lovely. But the Grove dies and the Grove stamp set is not retiring. Those are going into the new catalogue. So, so there you go. I hope that's, if anyone's wondering, how do you get it? Okay, you can order the tutorials very, very easily by going to my blog. I'll put the address on the screen right now. It's lhiggins.blogspot.com. And you go to the most recent post, just scroll down a little bit, and there's a Purchase Now button. You click that and pay via PayPal. It is $15 Australian for all of these. But if you are elsewhere, that may work in your favor. For example, if you're in the US, that's about $10 US. Okay, so just to give you an idea, it is very inexpensive. I put lots and lots of work into them. I love doing them for people. But if you wanted to get the tutorials, you certainly can go. And there's also at the top of the blog page, if you go to that blog address, at the very top of the page, you'll see tutorials for sale. And that's where you can go to purchase past ones that I've put up in previous months. I've been doing this since the middle of last year. So there's one for each month and a whole range of different ones that you can get your hands on. All right, let me go back and look at the comments and see if anybody had anything that you were surprised the Stamparatus was going. Look, I wasn't. As was explained to me, I think I've had more response from other people, but as was explained to me, in fact, it was Ellen that sort of filled me in that there's been some legal challenges, some copyright issues with the Stamparatus by another company that makes a stamp positioning tool, and they have challenged all the other stamp positioning tools that are out there, and so I think it's a result of that. So yeah, the Stamparatus is different to the others, and that is why I think it's a real shame that it's going because it's a great tool. But I have to also say it's a long time since I sold one. I'd sold a lot when they first came out, but in recent times the sales have subsided, so maybe that's also a factor. Maybe that. So there you go. It will be interesting to see what they come up in the future. We used to have the Stampmajig, remember that? And a couple of people said, let's bring the Stampmajig back. But the Stampmajig only worked with wooden stamps. It didn't work with photopolymer or cling stamps. So, so that wouldn't be a solution. No, it's not that one, I don't believe, Donna. I don't believe it's that. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Ellen would know. Ellen knows which one it is, but I actually don't know. So there you go. All right. Okay, so shall we move into something else? I'm just going to have a quick look and see. Okay, so there's lots of things in both catalogues, like I said, that are going. Okay. One of the things that is going in here is the fine shimmer paper is going. So that's a bit sad because I really, really, really like the fine shimmer paper. This fine shimmer paper comes in gold, soft succulent, and fresh freesia. Really, really nice. So there's all three colors in the one pack. And I believe there's two. Let's have a look at it. It's with all the fancy flora stuff here. Here it is on page 15. And it's called Fine Shimmer Paper, 12 by 12. And it's $17.50 for 6 single-sided sheets, 2 each of the 3 colors I just mentioned. Okay, so soft succulent, obviously that's going, so the paper needs to go. Fresh freesia is staying, and gold. They are going to have some shimmery paper in the new one. Oh, sorry, thank you, Jenny. I will get rid of that. Thank you very much. Hide. There we go. Thank you for telling me. So you saw someone using the jig with a regular block? Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Maybe it probably depends on your positioning with it. But yeah, a recent video. Interesting. Maybe they can bring it back. Maybe that was... Yeah, I know. But I don't understand how all that works, Nicole. So, yep. Who knows? All right. So I'm thinking maybe I'll grab this paper tonight because I haven't used it for a while. And let's look and see on the list what discount, if there's any. So the fine shimmer paper is 20% off. But the fancy flora paper, the 6x6 paper, this beautiful paper here, that is not going to be discounted. Okay. So, but we do have this one discounted. So let me just grab it. This is such lovely paper. Really, really pretty. And there's lots and lots of colors in it. So, you know, when you look down here, you can see the list of colors. But there's actually even more colors than what's listed here. It's Balmy Blue, Basic Grey, Calypso Coral, Daffodil Delight, Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia, Night of Navy, Orchid Oasis, Pill Party, Soft Sea Foam, Soft Suede, and Soft Succulent. Okay, so really, really good. There's only 6 there, so there's a lot more colors than actually what it says. And some of them I like better than others. Like I think this is really pretty, whereas I don't think I've used this one as much. Like I don't normally go towards the browns. There's a lot of purple in that one. I have used this one a bit, and that looks really nice with the soft succulent fine shimmer. Looks really, really good. Actually looks nice with the gold too, doesn't it? And look at that. That's really pretty. That one might have my attention tonight. That's really nice. All right, so you can see and look at the back. See, they're just beautiful. So they're just so stunning, all the different painted designs. So lovely. You know, there is a video out there. I should put it on my VIP page for anyone who's interested. That is actually it's like the making of the paper, like how they designed it and how it came about to look like it does. So I love it when they do those kind of videos. We saw that one already. But yeah, really, really beautiful paper. And, you know, as you go through, there's just so many designs. This one's nice with all the blues and purples. Isn't that lovely? Really, really nice. So anyway, there we go. So I'm thinking I'm going to do this one because I think it's really lovely. And I'm thinking I'm going to use Orchid Oasis with this one because that's a really nice, it's got a number of colours in it. And that's definitely a nice colour to throw in there. So let's do that, shall we? So we're going to do a really simple card and I'll finish up because I know you've been with me for a while tonight. How are we going for time? 8:45. Yeah, I'm over. Sorry, guys. All that chit chat about all the colours and the retiring things takes a bit of time, doesn't it? All right. What's on the back of this one? No, I don't want to use that. So I'm thinking let's go 9.5 down here. And we'll just keep this super, super, super simple. I'm going to go this end. So I'm just making it so it's going to fit inside this Orchid Oasis piece. Just like that. We're going to pop some seal on behind. You could use Tombow as well, or tape, whatever suits you really. Whatever you happen to like. You have nowhere to be. I do. I have I'd like to, normally on a Sunday night, I go and spend a bit of time with hubby sitting on the lounge, but actually, believe it or not, I hate to admit this, but I have some book work I need to do. And yeah, that's going to have to happen tonight. So I'm going to have to just sit down and do that. So I'm deciding if I want to use, so I'm thinking of the Something Fancy dies because those are not retiring unless I pull out something that is, but The Something Fancy dies are the ones that match up with this set. So when you look at the set, it's actually what they call a mega suite, when it's a suite that has 2 stamp sets and like multiples. So it's actually got 2 stamp sets and stamps and dies as well. Okay, so the dies here, the Something Fancy dies, match the word set, and then these ones match the flower set, but they're all part of the same suite. All right, so let me grab my Something Fancy dies out, and I'm going to cut this down. Because I need it to go through my cut and emboss machine, so it needs to be 9 centimeters or less. So let's make it 9 centimeters because I know it will fit. And I'm going to decide, I'm thinking maybe this way would look good. You can go this way too, but depends on which sentiment I'm going to go with. So if I pull out the Something Fancy set, if I wanted, for example, Here's to Beautiful Beginnings and Happily Ever Afters, that's a long, thin one, so you'd have it this way. If I wanted the thank you, it probably doesn't matter. But if I want one of these, I need to have it going horizontally. So it just depends. Do I want the big one to go behind? I think I do. All right, let's bring in the cut and emboss machine, and this time I'm going to use the mini because the mini just takes up less space on the desk. And I've told you guys about this before, but just as a really quick tip, okay, we were told that it's a really great idea to set your dies up, or sorry, your plates up so they form an E. And you're probably thinking, what the heck do you mean by that? Okay, so I've got my base plate, then I've got my, this is the end that's going to go through. Actually, let me do it this way because then we've got our numbers. Number 1 and then number 2 is next, and I'm going to set it up so it's not all the way to the end. Okay, then I'm going to put my die and paper on, and then I'm going to put my top plate on, but I'm going to have my top plate on so that it is beyond. Okay, so we've got this one at the bottom, then the middle one's set in, and then the top is, can you see it? It makes an, oh, hang on. Let me try and get right under the camera. So it makes an E, okay? They're not all lined up to the end. The middle one is shorter. It goes through behind the others. So I don't know if that makes sense to everybody, but it makes such a difference when you're rolling them through. If ever you think, why is this not feeding through properly, try that, because you will find it will go through much easier. Much, much easier. All right, just feeds through. Something Fancy dies are not being discontinued, but I'm not. Are you saying? Did you say, Donna, the Fancy Flora dies are on sale? So there you go. All right, so I've got this on. Guess what? I'm going to need the other one. I'm going to need the other one. Need to bring it back again. All right, so once again, this is too wide. I need to have it cut. Let me cut it down. And really the smart thing is not what I'm doing. The smart thing to do is to stamp first and then die cut. But am I doing that? No. No, I'm not. And I'm not left-handed, but I've got it round the other way. The nice thing is you can stamp, the cut and emboss machine works either way, right, or left-handed. So you just turn it the way that suits you. I always wished I was left-handed because they say that left-handed people are more creative. And I always thought that that sounded like it would be a good thing to be even more creative. All right, so this one now is going to fit right inside this one. Should be able to see that. And let's use Orchid Oasis because that's the colour that is on our base. And I'm going to use this. Here's to, oh, have I used this stamp before? You know what, I haven't. But I'm just going to stick it on the block because I'm lazy. Making sure I've got it right. Yep. So it says, here's to beautiful beginnings and happily ever afters. Isn't that nice? That'd be nice for a wedding or something like that. Deciding which size block to use. And this one's too big, but I moved my, oh goodness, way too big. This one will be better. This is C. Let's just test it first. That's pretty good. There we go. I'm going to pop that on dimensionals. He's extra clever. Certainly don't think it's me. Ah, you're talking about Jenny. Ambidextrous. No, I'm not. I struggle to, I can't brush my teeth left-handed or blow dry my hair or any of those things. All right. Now, I'm going to just pop this straight on here because I think it's a really pretty. And we have got twine in these colors that would look nice, but I'm thinking I might. There is Pool Party in here, and one of the things that's part of this, but I'm actually going to deviate from what's in here. The Pool Party ribbon that is part of this suite is not retiring. Where is it? Here we go. This one, okay, number 5. It's the Pool Party Grosgrain ribbon. I'm pretty sure I spotted that in the annual catalogue. I hope I've not made a mistake. But we also have a Pool Party sheer ribbon, and that is retiring. So I'm going to use the Pool Party sheer ribbon, even though it's not part of this suite, because it's going bye-byes. So I'm going to use it. And it's one of my favourite ribbons. I was a bit sad to see that on the list. All right. It's such nice ribbon to tie. It's this one. So you can see it's really, really like soft and filmy. Whereas the other ribbon, the one that's not retiring, but is part of this suite, is this one. So both Pool Party, but this one's been around for a while. This one's more new. Okay, but I'm going to use this one on this card. Just going to tie it. It's easy to tie. It's a nice soft. I love a soft ribbon because they're so much easier to work with. I mean, all ribbons have their uses, but the soft ones are my favorite. All right, so let's just snip that off for a second. I'll work out where I want to snip it properly when I get it on here. And I'm going to add this on with some glue dots, a glue dot. Let's find ourselves a glue dot. And I think most of you know this. What you do, you find the glue dot, you stick your thing you want to stick onto the glue dot and give it a good old hard press with your finger, and then take it off. The glue dot comes through. And then we snip this where we want it to be. And then we add bling because we have to, and because Jody, even though she's not here, would be very cross if we did not. I'm sure she's making sure, or she'll be watching the replay or something. Let me grab bone folder again. Okay, so this is going to go on the front. I'm just looking to see. Well, you know what? It does seem silly. They've never done that where they've had an annual and a mini finish at the same time, but there is a reason for it, Shirley. And it's part of the new catalog strategy, and it does actually make sense because they're trying to make it that we have something new to show people every 2 months. So either there's an online release or a physical catalog release. And to have, in the past, our catalogs, like they've had issues because the January catalog went for 6 months and then the July catalog went for 6 months, which we never then truly had any time with our annual catalog to just have time with the annual catalog. This way, we're going to have just the annual catalog for the next couple of months, which will give it a really good, there's so much that has been underutilized or underused because we were so concentrating on a mini instead of concentrating on an annual. So there is actually good reasons why they've done it this way. It's just part of an overall strategy that does mean that they're going to have a better way to use up the catalogs that are there. So that's why it's finishing at the same time. But yeah, it's a lot, isn't it? All right, I do need bling on this. That's important. Let's see what bling we shall use. What bling shall we use? Having a look here. Oh, that's so funny, Cherie. I just read your comment. That's hilarious. No, something. Oh, I don't think something fancy is retiring. Let me check and I'll tell you. Just a second. But let's find something. We've got, what shall we put? We've got our good old iridescent rhinestones. I mean, they work on everything. Oh, you know what? I'm going to use these guys. Now, here's the thing. These are not retiring. Oh, I don't have any gold ones left on that. They're not retiring. They're going into the annual catalog, and I am so happy because right now these pastel gems, these guys, they are my absolute favorite gems right now. I just think they go with just about everything. I love them so much that recently when we had our team retreat, which was a couple of Saturdays ago, and I sent everybody who was on the retreat, everyone got a pack of these. And so that's why I have plenty of them, because I have a couple of packs left over. But I might just open these ones. But these are fabulous. They're so useful. I mean, even though I could use, we've got to decide what we want. Okay, because this card actually has all 3 colors, the gold, the balmy blue, and the Calypso Coral in it. I mean, should I go Calypso Coral, which would be the boldest, or should I go with the gold to match our gold fine shimmer paper? What do you think, guys? And I will check to see if something fancy is retiring because you asked the question, and I've just got to find my list. 1 second. I think I put it next to me here. I did, because I haven't gone through my mini catalogue yet. I know the dies are not retiring, but I'm just checking the stamp set. I don't think it is. No, it's not. The bundle is retiring. It's not going to be a bundle anymore, but not the stamp set. Oh, lots of options. Who was first? Coral, said Subu. You want the coral. All right. Okay, coral it is. You were first. All right, so I'm going to... It does match with the coral that's here. And I'm going to pop a couple of them up here. This one needs to be a little higher. There we go. There we go. What do we think? Do we like it? I'm a bit over time tonight. I know I am. I'm sorry about that. I know you all have places to be and things to do and all the stuff. I know that. But it's been nice creating a couple of fun cards with you this evening. Don't even know where the other one went. It's under this big pile of stuff somewhere. This is what I do. Every week I do this. That's okay. I'll put it in the thumbnail so everyone can see it. But I think the Lighthouse card that I did earlier turned out really nice. I really, really like that one. That's my favorite tonight. This one's just a simple little card that turned out okay. Yeah, Lighthouse has totally disappeared. I'll find it as soon as I finish up. Oh, thank you, guys. Oh, that's okay. You surprised yourself, Subu. Isn't that funny? I do check Facebook. Well, it all comes when I'm on StreamYard, Facebook and YouTube comes through together to me. So I can see which one. Like I can see, for example, Joan is commenting on Facebook. Nairi's commenting on Facebook. Cherie's on YouTube. Monique's on YouTube. So different people are in different places. So, yes, I see both. Still sober. It's probably is. Oh, you're right. It is with the other cards. Ta-da! We found it. There we go. There you go. I'll put that there to hide that little bit of little tear that I made with the twine. There we go. Okay, there they are. I hope that you enjoyed those tonight. I did. It was a lot of fun as always, and I will see you all next Friday night. Now, for anyone who needs to get in touch with any questions over the next couple of days, you can reach out to me by email, or you can call me if you're local, or you can message me on Facebook or wherever, whatever's easy for you. But I know people have a lot of questions about what's happening, so don't forget that the 4th, the day after tomorrow, is the morning that we start selling our retired list stuff. So if you have something you want, please do not delay. Grab it as quickly as you can, because I feel really sad when people miss out on things that they want. Sounds good. That's a perfect evening, Denise. Bed and book. I love that. Oh, you know what? I didn't realize it was Good Friday. I am not sure. Good question. Maybe not. I'll let you know during the week. I'll post that in my private group and on my Facebook page. All right. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.